I'm seeing you after 2 weeks because I was on leave for a couple of weeks and I couldn't do the session with you guys. Um, Also, we have sort of rebranded this show to Crypto Delhi. It is DELI, and it's gonna be kind of same. I'm gonna talk about stuff that's happening in India, and also some stuff that's impacting things in India, the volumes, the behavior, and what's the future looks like, and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it stays the same. The concept is the same. We've just renamed the show. So welcome everyone again. And my name is Diksha, and I'm the PR manager at K.io. So yeah, I mean, today I'm gonna cover a lot of stuff because there's stuff that we've missed out in the last couple of weeks. So I'm thinking, I've cherry picked some of the stuff that really happened, in the last week of July, in the first week of August, to really cover it, in the session, because a lot of it is exciting and might just be interesting for you guys to know. So of course, let's start with how well Bitcoin's doing and how it's really survived the new all-time high of recent times, which is more than 10k, more than 11k, and yeah, and the community is really excited and expecting a bull run, in the next few months or so. So I'm really excited about it, and yeah, you should really also check out some of the latest staking programs that we're launching. One of them is going on, and one of them we launched the round two on Tuesdays. So yeah, that's also very interesting. So you should also check out that. Well, as far as India is concerned, there've been a lot of growth in the cryptocurrency space as such. There's been, a lot of people are trading, and a lot of youth is really, opening up to the concept and trading cryptocurrencies rather than they're looking at them as an alternative to as a financial alternative to the traditional ones. And the crypto surged. The daily trading volume in India, they are really being projected 30 billion, you know. So 10 to 30 million, I'm sorry. So that's really exciting. And India has also become one of the, five fastest growing Bitcoin use groups in the world. That's very exciting. And but there's also something coming up around, how there are discussions on this new bill which might ban cryptocurrencies, the trading of cryptocurrencies in India. I mean, it's still under discussion, but there are a lot of news and a lot of noise around that. So these are two contrasting things happening in the country. I mean, on one hand, things are growing, volumes are on an all-time high. More and more people are holding Bitcoin. More and more people are trading. More companies are investing. And global investors are taking so much interest in the crypto companies in India. But on the other hand, the government is really giving a hard time. I mean, of course, things are not clear, and yeah, I mean, but let's see what happens, because it's still under discussions. So unless something's out, something's not out. So yeah, that's what's happening on also something very interesting coming up is a Microstrategy, which is a company which is the largest independent business intelligence company, has purchased 250 million worth of bitcoins. um, for a company like that, betting on Bitcoin is huge and is kind of a testament to the worth and the and the promise that cryptocurrencies bring to the table. So that's a very interesting thing that I read recently. Also, on a related note, I've been reading about, is crypto mining legal in India, or is it not? I mean, there's a bit of confusion there, and it's still a question that needs to be discussed. I haven't found an answer to this, and the industry's been like hamstrung by a lack of clarity, from regulations from the regulatory bodies, because of the frequent clampdowns on mining operations as well. So that's a question, and I'm excited to know and excited to get a clear answer on this. And whenever I'm gonna get that to you as well. Um, as we know, so how's the Indian market for gate? Right. So the Indian market for gates is growing since the overall volumes have grown, and more people, more we're getting more users there. After the uplift, the user number has increased in India per se, and of course overall. So yeah, I mean, before the ban, the number of users were not that much, but now it's kind of increased, and I'm sure I'm going to be able to give you a specific number on our user growth in India, the number of users in India, in my next session. Well, that's a good question. Thanks for asking. Let's talk about some of the global things. And as we know that Bitcoin has survived the all-time high in recent 2 weeks, but if we go a little bit back, like a couple of weeks back, after the Bitcoin and Ethereum prices, they surged almost dramatically in the last few weeks. They also saw a brief clash on the Sunday of the first week of August, when it the Bitcoin dropped by 12% and Ethereum dropped by 20% in just 6 minutes. So, and because of that, around more than 1 billion in futures were liquidated. However, as we can see, the prices have recovered. They've mostly recovered, in the last few days. So that was something very strikingly interesting that I found. Things that happened in just 6 minutes, and then they got back. Probably we didn't realize, but then that really had an impact on the market. Meanwhile, according to a report, Bitcoin addresses with at least $10 or more of cryptocurrency have hit a new all-time high, which is also very interesting, because till now we were only reading about crypto whales, and how they are the major holders of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But this is very exciting, because the wallets that have at least $10 or more have also hit a new all-time high of 16 million or so, which is up from 14 million in 2018. So it's about like a 15% surge in those. That tells us about the user behavior a lot, right? I mean, it definitely means people who didn't know about cryptocurrency, or didn't know how to trade in cryptocurrencies, or how to use cryptocurrencies in 2018, are now more educated and have put in efforts to know about cryptocurrencies. And this is definitely again a testament to all the noise that's growing, and all the new developments that have been happening, amid the COVID-19 lockdowns or not. But yeah, of course, the crypto development was anyway happening even before COVID hit us. So that's exciting, right? Well, also, Ethereum 2.0, which is lined up for a launch. They have released their testnet, and the final testnet ahead of the launch of the main Ethereum mainnet 2.0 went live on Tuesday with about 20,000 validators. Well, this is not this Tuesday, it was last Tuesday. And they have about 20,000 validators staking about 650,000 worth of Ethereum, 650,000 Ethereum. And the testnet also features a couple of clients, like Lighthouse, Teku, these guys. Yeah, so that's exciting. We'll talk about Ethereum and the Ethereum 2.0 and the concept behind it a bit later now. But before that, I want to talk about the spot and the futures, Ethereum spot and futures volumes growing, because we talked about how both Bitcoin and Ethereum have the prices have really surged dramatically. But not just that, their volumes have also been growing. And in fact, Ethereum's volumes have been growing faster than that of Bitcoin's. So that's also very interesting. I mean, this has been overall a very great year for Ethereum, no doubt about that. Yeah, and there is I mean, you had Bitcoin, and how it really was the leading cryptocurrency and is the leading cryptocurrency actually. But we can see Ethereum really close now, yeah, with all the developments and all the growth that's happened this year. And there was a recent research that showed that Bitcoin's market cap is roughly 5 times that of Ethereum, but trading volumes for Ether in the spot and the futures market both are rising faster, much faster than that of Bitcoin since September 2019. If you really look at the numbers on the spot markets, the ETH BTC pair price ratio has more than doubled, and the trading volume of ETH is about half of the BTC, whereas in September it was at 19%. So in September 2019, I mean, how many months? Like about 9 months. In just 9 months, the ratio of Ethereum futures trading volume to Bitcoin futures trading volume has also increased from 8% to 29% last week. So that is some. These are some really validating numbers for Ethereum, right? Also, in this, of course, I mean, we all know that decentralized finance is really making noise, these days, because that's really like one of the really important components of this entire ecosystem, blockchain and the cryptocurrency ecosystem, because a lot of companies are trying to innovate using decentralized finance. So we'll do a quick check there as well, and we'll talk about some of the projects that have taken some major steps when it comes to decentralized finance. So with the explosion in the as I said, in the DeFi bubble, the number of contract calls to Ethereum hit an all-time high last month on July 25th, with more than 3.1 million daily contract calls, right? And the majority of them attributed to DeFi. Well, this is something I read on Coinmetrics recently, and MakerDAO, which is one of the, I think it's one of the leading DeFi projects, became the first DeFi protocol to reach 1 billion in total value locked, and yeah, I mean that's also a big win for them. And then there's a project called Synthetics, which replaced the Synthetics Foundation with the three DAOs, one for protocol upgrades, one to fund public goods in synthetics, and one to manage and deploy funds to contributors. So that's another one. And what else? So we have DeFi protocol Aave also went fully decentralized recently, transferring governance from the Aave core team to Aave token holders, right? And betting platform Augur launched its version 2, which integrates DeFi features such as DAI, Unisap, and yeah, I mean, this is another update there. And finally, FTX is launching a DEX called Ethereum on Solana. Well, let's talk about Ethereum 2.0 now. And as I said, that we're going to be talking about a little bit about the concept or the technology behind Ethereum 2.0. And yeah, so one of the interesting questions that comes to our mind is, will Ethereum 2.0 easier to attack than the Ethereum 1.0 or not? I mean, that's one interesting question with the recent Twitter attacks. That happened. So with Ethereum 2.0 release lined up, is just around the corner, and researchers are really looking at this question very, very closely, and they've actually published a detailed view of its network, and how the mechanics work and how other economics around the entire network and the way it's built and how different it is from the previous version and how secure it is from the previous version. So Ethereum 2.0's proof of stake is highly complex relative to proof of work. Security of the network in Ethereum 2.0 is dependent upon three variables, which is the Ethereum state, the price of Ethereum, and the volatility. it faces. And attacks on Ethereum 2.0 are if it's attacked, um, they are easier. These attacks are easier to scale than you could do that on Ethereum 1.0. I mean, what I'm trying to say is is not. I'm not trying to say it's easy. No, I'm saying if it is hacked, the hack is can be scaled easily than what it was in Ethereum 1.0 because of the properties that we just talked about: the price, the volatility, the number of Ethereums that are being staked and stuff like that. So derivatives attacks in which attackers make money, for instance, by shorting using any of the types of either of the ETH derivatives could become could be the reason why they get hacked in the newer version. Now in 2020, there's a host of newer chains that are really competing with Ethereum 2.0, and trying to get that top spot in terms of technology and the maturity of the network. Which these projects are like including Polkadot, you have Cardano. And Algorand and Zilliqa, Solana, all these guys, they come with a similar and a robust technology behind their networks. So one thing that all these chains have in common is that they're actually not currently fighting on Ethereum's top spot. They're fighting each other for the chance to fight Ethereum for the top spot, and this leads to a massive fragmentation across these different chains, right? With the foundations responsible for developing them having to basically try to and more interesting, right? Sorry, I just had a bad connection. Yeah. All right. So apart from that, of course, you must have read. Well, a couple of weeks ago, there was this news of China's BSN being divided into two parts, and one of them is for the public blockchains within China, and one of them is for the global blockchain. Our CMO Marie had given some really interesting insights on this. So you should read that article. It should be on our Twitter handle. China, weeks ago, there was this news of China's BSN being divided into two parts, and one of them is for the public blockchains within China, and one of them is for the global blockchain. Our CMO Marie had given some really interesting insights on this. So you should read that article. It should be on our Twitter handle. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. And I really liked speaking to you today after 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be back with some more action-packed news next week. Till then, you just stay safe and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.